Welcome to the Game Closet, everyone. It's Flashback Friday, a new series on Game Closet that will feature all things retro in video games, and today we are diving deep into one of my all-time faves. We're going way back to 1983 for Activision's Seaquest for the Atari 2600, programmed by Steve Cartwright. Seaquest is a personal favorite of mine, and if you love shoot-'em-ups, odds are you will love this retro classic from Activision, so man the torpedoes and full speed ahead. Uh-oh, I'll bet that's the algorithm screwing me over again.
Sonic ahead.
Released by Activision in 1983, Seaquest was designed by Steve Cartwright, who also created Barnstorming, Megamania, and Frostbite. It quickly became a hit, known for its unique underwater shoot-'em-up gameplay. Even though Seaquest is all happening on one screen, the enemy action attacks you from both sides of the screen, so be on the lookout for killer sharks and enemy subs that fire torpedoes at you. The sharks swim in an oscillating up and down motion, which may be difficult to navigate through if you miss shooting them. Those torpedoes are quite deadly as well, so don't swim right up to one and give it a great big fat kiss. Basically, if you collide with anything, you're a goner. Your underwater mission, should you choose to take it, is to save lost divers 6 at a time and return them to the surface. Now, there are a few caveats though, aside from avoiding the enemy subs and sharks, so listen up. First, you have to watch your sub's oxygen supply like a hawk. If you fail to do that, your sub will implode underwater. We've had enough billionaires doing that lately, so let's not do that, okay? Once you have 6 divers aboard, you may return to the surface to get rewarded 50 points for each diver, and you'll be rewarded an extra 50 points per diver every time you resurface until the divers are worth a whopping 1,000 points each, and that's their maximum point value. If you return to the surface with less than 6 divers, 1 diver will be taken from your sub and you'll be given an oxygen refill. But with a full complement of rescued divers, you'll be rewarded for each diver and you'll receive points for your remaining oxygen. Once you have resurfaced your second batch of divers, an enemy patrol sub will begin to monitor the surface, and if you surface in its path, it will ram you, therefore destroying your sub. So, if you have to resurface, do it after the sub moves away, or be really far away from it. Let's talk about scoring for a second. Now, sharks and subs are worth 20 points each. Each time you surface with 6 divers, the sharks and subs increase by 10 points, all the way to a maximum of 90 points each. As I mentioned earlier, rescued divers are worth 50 points each, but they go up by 50 points after each resurfacing to a maximum of 1,000 points each. You can fire away at the sharks and subs until the sea cows come home, but the more successful rescues you have, the faster the action becomes. Way back in the 1980s, if you scored 50,000 points on Seaquest, took a photo of your television, and sent it to Activision, they would send you an embroidered patch for the Sub Club. Even though I did score over 80,000 points just 4 short years ago and posted a video of that, Activision didn't make good on the patch offer. I wonder why. Now, controlling the sub is very easy and responsive with the Atari joystick, and of course, you can use a Sega Genesis controller as well, but I really like to call upon my arcade joystick created by BD Retro Mods. Even though the Atari 2600 was limited for its time, Steve Cartwright programmed a very responsive, great-looking, and great-sounding game. It's a fairly simple game by today's standards, but there is a sense of tension caused by the immediacy to save the divers while managing your oxygen supply, all while maintaining to stay away from the charging enemy subs and attacking sharks. The underwater setting is conveyed well due to the up and down movement of the sharks in the water, the bubbles you see coming from the divers, and the sky and horizon line above the water. Even the sound effects are spot on and aren't the typical cornucopia of Atari 2600 sound effects you may hear in many games. The exploding subs echo, the oxygen alarm is loud enough to cause tension but not too loud to be annoying, and the sharks being shot sort of give a cartoonish-like yelp. Back in the day, I had many Atari games like Asteroids, Pitfall, Demon Attack, and another underwater sea adventure, Bermuda Triangle, and I liked all of them, trust me, but the one I gravitated to most personally was Seaquest. The one in this frame is my personal childhood copy, nestled up right there to Pitfall 2, signed by David Crane. This is my actual personal copy from when I was a kid. I also, of course, own this complete in box copy. No matter how many games my friends and I played, I always tried to get them to play me in a one-on-one, head-to-head Seaquest battle. Now, I didn't always win. Guaranteed, we all had a great time talking smack to one another, you know, as boys would do, before we would jump on our bikes and go right uptown to Riddle's Market for Pop Rocks, Slim Jims, and Mountain Dews. Do you have any memories of the game Seaquest, or maybe some other great memories of some other awesome Atari games? Please share them down in the comments so I and others can hear all about them. In our next Flashback Friday, we'll be talking about the arcade game Gauntlet and some of its follow-ups over the years. So don't forget to subscribe and check out the whole Game Closet video library. I'm sure there's something to keep you entertained. I'm Dr. Scott. Thanks for joining me for Flashback Friday here in the Game Closet. We'll see you very, very soon.